Dog of Flanders. In the village of Flanders, in Belgium, where red rooftops and windmills are beautifully scattered across a green meadow, there lived an 11-year-old boy called Nello who loved to draw. Nello, who lived with his grandfather, squeezed fresh milk, loaded it onto an old cart, and delivered it to shops and houses in the village. Nello and Grandpa were pulling their milk cart down a mountain road where cows could be seen grazing. After a while, Nello, who was pulling the cart from the front, cried out, "Grandpa, there's a big dog lying down here." Grandpa came over and looked at the dog.
"Oh my, he's hurt bad."
The dog's front and hind legs were bleeding. Grandpa and Nello lifted the dog together and put it on the cart. Nello brought the dog home and took good care of it, and after a while, the dog recovered enough to run around. "Grandpa, I want to give the dog a name. What should I call it?"
"Well, this dog is like a wonderful gift from God. So why don't we call it Patrice?"
"Patrice? That's a great name." Nello spoke to Patrice. "Patrice, do you like that name too?" "Ruff, ruff." It seemed that Patrice also liked his name as he jumped around Nello and Grandpa. Nello and Patrice became close like brothers. As the years went by, Grandpa grew so weak that he could no longer deliver milk. Nello was also worried about having to deliver heavy milk bottles by himself, but he spoke boldly. "Don't worry, Grandpa. Patrice and I will take care of it." Patrice wagged his tail with a woof and ruff. From the following day, Patrice pulled the cart and Nello delivered the bottles of milk. On the way from delivering milk, Nello stopped by the cathedral. Paintings by the famous painter Rubens were being displayed in the cathedral. But Rubens' paintings were always covered by large curtains. You had to pay to see the paintings, which was difficult for poor Nello. "Patrice, my dream is to become a famous painter like Rubens. I would love nothing more than to see one of his paintings with my own eyes." On days when there was no milk delivery, Nello stayed with his friend Aloha from the same village. Aloha was the daughter of Patrice, the richest man in the village of Flanders. Nello would always go out into the fields and draw pictures of Aloha, but Mr. Patrice hated Nello because he had no parents and was a poor milk delivery boy.
"Aloha, I told you not to play with Nello, and here you are with him again."
Patrice took Aloha by the hand and took her home. Patrice licked Nello's face as he was sitting down, as if comforting him as he sulked. Nello turned over the sketchbook he had been drawing Aloha on and started drawing the beautiful view of the village. He worked hard on drawing to enter an art contest that was coming in a few months. Winter came with fluffy white snow falling in the village of Flanders. Nello and Patrice were on their way to the town hall to submit the paintings that Nello had been working hard on in the summer and autumn for the art contest. On the way there, Nello came across a cute little girl doll lying on the ground. He picked it up and called out in front of the town hall to find the owner of the doll. "Has anyone here lost this doll?" No matter how much he called out, no one was interested in Nello and Patrice. Nello submitted his drawing to the judges and then headed for Aloha's house to give her the doll as a gift.
How are you, Aloha?
How have you been, Nello?
Good. I just came by to give you this doll as a gift.
That's a pretty doll. Thanks.
Nello gave the doll to Aloha and returned home with Patrice. But that night, a fire broke out in Cosette's windmill. Aloha, didn't Nello come to our house earlier?
Yes, he was here earlier.
He must have set fire to my windmill.
No, he didn't. He just went home, Dad.
Be quiet. Go to your room. Cosette went around the village telling everyone that Nello had set fire to his windmill. The villagers listened to Cosette, and Nello had his milk delivery job taken away from him.
Ma'am, I didn't start the fire. Please, let me keep my milk delivery job.
Oh, Nello, Cosette is a well-respected member of the community. He wouldn't tell a lie. I can't have you deliver milk, so don't come here again. Being out of work, Nello's house ran out of firewood and bread. Grandpa's illness got worse and worse, and he died one winter day. Nello returned home with Patrice after his grandfather's funeral. Knock, knock, knock. Nello heard someone knocking on the door. Nello opened the door.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Nello. I'm sorry to hear that your grandfather passed away.
Thank you.
Nello replied feebly. I know you've been having a hard time, but you haven't paid rent for the entire winter. I have no choice but to evict you. You must leave this house by the end of this week.
If I win the art contest, I can pay the rent with the prize money. Please, just give me until then.
Fine. I'll wait until the day that the winner is announced. If you can't pay the rent then, you will have to leave this house.
I understand.
It was the day that the winner of the contest would be announced. Nello went to the town hall feeling nervous. Finally, the village mayor came out with a picture that was the winning entry and hung it on the wall. It wasn't Nello's drawing, but another child's. Disappointed, Nello returned home with Patrice, feeling hopeless. The landlord kicked Nello and Patrice out of the house in the cold winter. As they were walking down a village road in midst of a blizzard, Patrice was sniffing out something in the snow. Patrice pulled out a wallet from the snow and dropped it at Nello's feet. Nello found that it was full of money. The name of Aloha's father, Cosette, was engraved on the wallet. Nello and Patrice went to Aloha's house and knocked on the door.
Nello, why did you come here in the freezing cold?
I think this wallet belongs to your dad, so I came to return it.
Where did you find this? My dad lost his wallet and is still out looking for it. He said he needs it for his business. Patrice found it in the snow. Please give it to your dad for me. Why don't you come in out of the cold for a while?
No, there's something I need to take care of at the cathedral. Nello and Patrice headed back to the cathedral, frozen stiff in the blizzard. When they arrived, Patrice tugged on Nello's clothes.
What's the matter, Patrice?
Nello followed Patricia's lead. The moonlight shined brightly, and a painting of Rubens could be seen. In the cathedral, because it was Christmas Eve, the curtains were rolled up so that anyone could see the painting by Rubens.
Patrice, I'm finally able to see Rubens' painting.
The next day, Nello and Patrice were found lying down, frozen under the painting by Rubens. The people who came to worship on Christmas Day murmured as they looked at Nello and Patrice, and only the bells ringing in the cathedral seemed to be sad about their deaths.